I like the Batmobile.
Batmobile's fantastic.
Even though he stalls it.
Yeah.
He does stall it. Sorry, but he does.
There is a weird trope with the Batmobile as well, because like Batman is in a place that I'm pretty sure we see him turn up to, and then all of a sudden the Batmobile is just there, like handy. You're like, who put that there?
You see Alfred running away in the background. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another video, another review. I'm Finn. Mr. Smith is here.
Hello.
And today we're talking about The Batman.
Yeah.
Went to see this last week. It's been out a week now. So this is directed by Matt Reeves. And we have a new Batman.
We do.
In the shape of Robert Pattinson.
Pattinson.
Arbats.
Arbats.
Oh. That's what they're calling him. It's already made a ton of money.
Yeah.
I think like 300 million.
Something like that, isn't it? Like broken pandemic records or something.
Yeah, it's like buckets and buckets of money. And it's received pretty much all round good reviews. Yeah. So the brief, I'm not going to do like a whole plot of it. The brief plot of this is it's not an origin story.
No, it's like year 2.
Yeah,
it's Batman
so
year 2.
He's been doing the Batmans for about a year or so.
Yeah.
And Gotham is really corrupt.
Yep.
And there's loads of crime.
Mm-hmm.
As there
This
always
is unusual
is.
for Gotham. It's usually such a safe, friendly, bright place.
But this is a especially bad time.
Yeah.
It's corrupt all the way to the top, and
it's
just generally awful there. And there's a guy going around killing people.
Yes.
The Riddler. Yeah. So, what did you think?
I loved it.
You loved it?
I thought it was great. Yeah, really good. I mean, it was very much a case of when this was announced, I was like, do we need more Batman? Because he's like one of the like movies go, like as movie characters go. I mean, it's got to be one of the most overused characters in cinematic history.
Well, this was originally going to be Ben Affleck's standalone film, wasn't it?
Thank God it isn't.
Which he was going to write and direct.
Yeah.
Which he pulled out of.
Right. Yeah.
He's going to be asked. Then Matt Reeves was brought in. I think in the end it was going to be. He wasn't going to direct it, Ben Affleck. He was like, I'm not going to direct it, I've got too much to do.
Yeah.
But then he was like, I'm not going to write it either. And then, so they kind of got rid of everything he did. So it was like a total new script and everything, and Matt Reeves was brought in, and Robert Pattinson was eventually cast, and it was just totally changed the whole thing. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the Ben Affleck one would have been a much older Batman.
Well, it'd have to be, yeah.
Well, yeah. Whereas this is the...
like Batman year 32.
Yeah. This is year 2, where Batman is not quite found his feet yet.
Yeah. Yeah, he's still fiddling about with things.
Yeah. He's not quite the world's greatest detective. But what I did like about it, the cinematography, some great shots in it, and just the overall aesthetic of it, it looks pretty great. There are people that will complain, it's too dark, I can't see what's going on. And that is a bit of an issue at points, but not really enough for me to be like, oh, this sucks.
There are points where it is. There's a couple of bits early on where I was like, oh fuck me, this is going to be well dark and I can't see anything. Yeah, but yeah, you get past it really quickly.
Apparently no one in this Gotham owns anything more powerful than like a 10-watt light bulb.
No.
It's ridiculous.
In regards to Gotham in this, I really like what they've done. Like, I mean, it's clearly New York, but
the look of it,
it's like even down to sort of there's a Times Square.
I love the look of this. Yeah,
but it very much to me looks a cross between almost Burton's Gotham and Nolan's Gotham, kind of mixed in, but like a mix of the two almost. Like it's still very dark and gothic-y in places and stuff, but but it's still very modern.
See, I thought it just took a lot of inspiration from Arkham Knight.
There's that as well.
Because I love the Nolan films, but that was always my biggest criticism was Gotham City doesn't look very Gotham-y. Yeah, and it just looks like it could be any generic city in America, which is didn't. But this, they've created a Gotham that look that's Gotham, and like you say, it's a combination of kind of the old style and with like new, more modern elements, and it does look great. Overall, the whole look of it, the mise-en scene, I thought it looked fantastic. Raining constantly, which again, some people like, I can't see what's going on, but it adds to the mood and the.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The
Gotham's
drama.
supposed to be like a dingy fucking place.
Yeah,
it's like in some part of America that doesn't get sunlight for like a month, like at a time, and then when it does, it's for 20 minutes.
Yeah, and it's raining still. Although I didn't like the Iceberg Lounge. It's just a warehouse.
Oh, what, the club?
Yeah,
right.
It's not. I mean, that's just a personal thing. I just like it just looks like it's just a warehouse. It's some industrial club. Whereas I always imagined the Iceberg Lounge being some kind of gentleman's club
I suppose.
thing.
Well, yeah, I did when they said there's a bit where there's a club inside the club and stuff, but then when you do get there's not really much difference between the two.
It's just some grotty basement.
Yeah,
like are powerful people really hanging out here? This looks gross. Looks like downstairs of Anvil. And also, I think we kind of lost out a bit. We didn't get an exterior shot of Arkham Asylum.
Oh no, you don't. Isn't there? Is there a?
No.
Is there like a gate scene? No.
No.
Nothing.
No, nothing.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I've added that in my brain then.
It's mentioned.
Yeah.
Arkham Asylum is mentioned, and then
we go inside it.
Yeah, and then it's immediately the interiors.
Yeah.
And it's like, but when it's mentioned, I was like, "Ooh, what have they done with it? What's it going to look like?" Oh, okay. Just like, I feel like they've lost out a little bit there.
Yeah.
What else I like about it? The performances are great.
Yeah, absolutely. Across the board.
Yeah. Colin Farrell especially.
Colin Farrell steals every scene he's in.
Yeah, he's so good.
But once you get past the fact that you can't even tell it's Colin Farrell, because obviously the prosthetics, and that makeup is incredible.
Yeah,
I have to say, it doesn't look like. At no point do you think like that's a mask and that's a fake nose and that's everything. It looks real.
He doesn't look like Colin Farrell. He doesn't sound like Colin Farrell. He doesn't walk like him. No. It's such a good performance.
Yeah.
Paul Dano or Dano, however you pronounce it.
Dano. Apparently, I had an interview with him today. It's Dano.
It is Dano.
It is Dano.
Yeah, he's one of his actors. He's pretty good and everything.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. I was quite pleased when I heard he'd been cast as the Riddler. Like I was instantly like, ooh.
Yeah.
That could be interesting, and he is really good.
Yeah.
Like very good. And Zoe Kravitz is great and beautiful.
Well, I realised I had never seen in anything before.
Who, Zoe Kravitz?
Yeah, never.
I'm trying to think what she has
really
been in. I've seen her in stuff before. I couldn't pluck anything out of the air.
No.
But yeah, she's very, very good.
Yeah.
And obviously Robert Pattinson.
Mm-hmm.
There was a bit of an outcry when he was cast.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, like I've learned my lesson in the past, so I was like, well, let's just see.
Yeah.
Let's see how it turns out. And he's good. Like for this era of Batman, this year too, he's very good.
Yeah.
Bit of a dick to Alfred a couple of times.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, not quite like what's his name from the Gotham TV series, like just like playing up and being I hate you, Alfred.
Well, he was a child in that.
Yeah, he was a kid. But this is like very much. There's a couple of bits where he's like, know your place.
Yeah.
Like, oh, all right, chill out.
What else I like? I like the Batmobile.
Batmobile's fantastic.
Even though he stalls it.
Yeah.
He does stall it. I'm sorry, but he does. There's no spoilers for this, but there is a scene where the Batmobile is prominent and Batman stalls it. It's just did that just happen? I think he just... But like we said, this is a very young Batman who does make mistakes and apparently can't drive stick.
There is a weird trope with the Batmobile as well, because like Batman is in a place that I'm pretty sure we see him turn up to, and then all of a sudden the Batmobile is just there, like handy. You're like, who put that there?
To see Alfred running away in the background. And it does have a pretty strong third act, which a lot of films sometimes sort of ill-falls. The wheels come off towards the end, but this has a really strong third act, which helps. And now onto things I don't like, with the 3-hour runtime.
Yeah, I was going to say that it is a long film, and there are at least 2 points in this film where you go, and that's the no, it's not the end.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, a couple of bits right at the end. 3 hours is.
It's very long.
It is very long.
It is very long.
And the next time I watch this, will probably be in my living room.
Yeah.
And I might feel different about it because I can pause it and go to the toilet and get a drink or a sandwich. But 3 hours is a long time to be sat in the cinema.
It is.
It really is.
It is, especially for someone with a pigeon bladder like I have. But I only went once.
I managed to hold it the whole time.
Well, that's impressive.
But I didn't drink any beer or anything beforehand. So
see, that was my mistake.
Yeah, it is a long. 3 hours is just.
It's long for any film. I mean, this is. I mean, it does have a pacing issue in places, but I mean, it does, like you said, in the third act. I mean, it's still really going, and it really keeps you fully involved.
Yeah, there are parts where you do look at your watch and think, I've got 2 hours of this left, and then you're like, I've got an hour and a half of this left. It looks like the third act's good enough that you don't really notice, but there are a couple of points where I did look at my watch, like my back hurts. Oh god, come on! I was in a recliner. It's too long even for the recliners.
Yeah.
What else did I? There's just throughout this whole film. This film is basically Batman meets Seven.
Yes.
And I love Batman, and Seven's like one of my favorite films.
Yeah. So
whilst I was watching it, I was like, why don't I love this? Why don't I think this is like the best thing I've ever seen? There's kind of something missing, and I couldn't tell you what until about 2 days ago. I've literally been thinking about like, what was it? It's just...
So what did you come up with?
Robert Pattinson
Yeah.
is a great Batman.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a very good Bruce Wayne.
Right.
Because it is two roles.
Mm-hmm.
And even when Christopher Nolan was casting Batman Begins, he made everyone come in an audition twice. Right. Once as Bruce Wayne and once as Batman. And he said afterwards, Cillian Murphy was a fantastic Bruce Wayne, but a terrible Batman. And in this, I don't really think it's Robert Pattinson's fault. I think it's just how they've written it. He's Batman, and then he's just Batman but without a mask on. Like, if you met him, be like, you're clearly Batman. You're quite obviously Batman.
But I think this... They kind of avoid that by making this Bruce Wayne kind of what's the word I'm looking for? A recluse. Like, he's at this stage in his life, and he's very much like Alfred is going like, you should really go out and be Bruce Wayne. He's like, I don't care about that stuff.
He's all emo.
Yeah, he's like, well, yeah, proper like listening to Nirvana in his cave and stuff. But yeah, I think that is the way they've got around. This is before he realizes that he needs that other persona.
Maybe.
I think, that's how I've seen it in my head. Because you're not wrong. Like, it is very much a case of, if you spend any time at all with Bruce Wayne, and then you were still like, Batman turns up to the crime scene, you're like, Bruce. You would be straight away. Yeah. You're no different.
Yeah, you're exactly the same, but just with a mask on.
But yeah, I think that's the whole, like, this Bruce Wayne is very much a recluse. That's why literally everybody that bumps into him as Bruce Wayne is like, where have you been? Like, we need you to do stuff.
Yeah. But none of those bits go anywhere.
No.
There's a scene where, I think it's in the trailer, someone who's running for the office of mayor accosts Bruce Wayne and says, listen, you're a billionaire, and you could be doing a lot for the city, but you don't appear to be doing anything. And you think this might be like, oh, yeah, maybe as Bruce Wayne I should start it. No, it's literally, it's never mentioned again.
I don't think he even says anything back to her, does he?
No.
He's just like, yeah.
Whatever.
I just want to listen to Nirvana and punch bad guys.
Another point that I sort of felt like something was missing was Andy Serkis.
Yep.
Honestly, is wasted in this film.
Yeah, it's really underused.
Yeah,
really
he's in just like a few scenes.
Yeah.
And the interactions between him and Robert Pattinson fall a bit flat.
Yeah.
And it's not till sort of now that you realise that, like in the Nolan and Burton films, like those scenes between Michael Caine and Christian Bale, or Michael Gough and Michael Keaton, actually how much sort of an integral part of the whole story and part of that character that relationship is.
Yeah.
And it's just not really present. I mean, it's present in this film, but like I said, it just, all those scenes fall a bit flat. And Andy Serkis is, just say, really underused. Yeah. For such a great actor. It just feels like, oh, okay. And yeah, that's all what I felt was kind of missing. There isn't really... Where Batman is Batman, and then, like I said, when he's Bruce Wayne, he's just Batman without a mask. It almost makes the character feel a bit two-dimensional. He's like, I'm vengeance, and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, well, they quite rightly you don't have to sit through the Waynes being murdered again.
Yeah, thank God.
Because like I honestly thought, like, because the film starts at a point, and I was like, and I'm sat there and I'm waiting for that to happen. It didn't happen. I was like, have we missed a bit? Did something?
Like, we're not going to see them shot again.
Yeah. But I mean, and I'm glad they do that, because you don't need to see it again.
No.
It's like it's the Waynes and Uncle Ben have been killed in so many films. It doesn't need to happen anymore. But yeah, and then you're supposed to have that relationship between Alfred and Bruce because of that. But like I said, like that, he's a bit shitty to Alfred, so it kind of almost takes away that sort of
the heart
like,
of the
parental
film.
sort of thing role that Alfred's supposed to have played. And they try. But yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't. That central relationship just isn't really fully formed.
Yeah, and it's sort of. I think that's why when I was watching it, that's kind of what it felt like it was missing, really.
Yeah.
So there isn't a lot of kind of character development. All the character development is kind of saved for Selena Kyle.
Yeah.
Which I'm not saying is a bad thing, because I love what they did with the character. They've actually done something with her.
Yeah.
And Zoe Kravitz is great, and it is really impressive.
John Turturro's great.
Yeah, he's
John
good.
Turturro.
Although every time I was watching it, he just reminded me of Adam Sandler in Uncut Gems. It's like, you know what? I wouldn't mind seeing Sandler have a go at this role, if I'm honest. But no, he is good. Like I said, it does. It's very much. It wants to be Seven.
Yeah.
And there are scenes.
Fincher's Batman.
There are scenes lifted directly from Seven. You're like, I like Seven, but I have seen it a number of times.
Yeah. But I mean, to me, it's nice to see this version of Batman, because I don't think we've really ever seen it like on screen. Like there's animated films
the
and there's
Arkham
comic
games
books,
are probably the closest. Yeah.
But this is very much like Batman trying to be a detective as such, rather than just kicking fuck out of like ridiculous bad guys all the time. There's some sort of work to be done here, rather than like Mr. Freeze is breaking into a museum. I must go
stealing a diamond,
ice skate and kill him. There's a lot more and there's a lot more threat from the Riddler. Like the Riddler's a fantastic villain in this.
Yeah,
like
but not like we've seen him before.
No,
because usually the Riddlers in the past normally been kind of a bit of a campy villain. Even in
Jim Carrey's version, which
even
is...
in like the Arkham games, he's a bit he's nuts and he's unhinged, but he's still
this is very much
there's always a bit of fun to him.
Yeah,
whereas there's no fun in Paul Dano's.
No, not at all. He's very much like the incel sort of villain almost.
Yeah, basically. And the only other thing, which sorry, I don't want to sound like an idiot, but it felt at times a bit maybe overly complex, the plot.
Right.
It's just like, this person did this, and then because of that, this happened, and then they went to do this, but that didn't happen because this happened, and there's a rat, and also this person's corrupt, and that stuff. It's just like, I mean, at no point was I like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But at all points, like, is this all necessary?
Well, again, this is supposed to be like the world's greatest detective, like the birth of the world's greatest detective.
He can't even speak Spanish.
Yeah.
There's a whole... There is a bit where he's just like, you don't know. The penguin's like, do you not know Spanish? You've got that completely wrong. Oh, damn it.
Yeah. No, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really like it.
I did enjoy it.
It's probably my favourite Batman film since Dark Knight so far. I really enjoyed it.
I mean, I didn't not enjoy it. It is a good film. It's just those things personally I have a bit of a little bit disappointed with.
Yeah,
but that might by no means it's a bad film, and it is a good film. And I like that, like we said, the look of it and how they appear to have mainly gone for practical effects.
Yes,
instead of CGI. Like, I don't think that was ever going to happen, or probably ever. Yeah, if there was a Batman film that all of a sudden was like a Marvel film, people would there'd be uproar. They really would.
Yeah, the only thing if they're going to continue this as a franchise, which I'm sure they will, then I don't think this lends itself to the wider DC universe.
Yeah, but I don't want it to.
No, neither do I.
I don't want Superman showing up.
They will try. Yeah, at some point they're going to It will happen. They're going to try and put Wonder Woman or Superman in there at some point or another, because you immediately lose the problem with, like, one of the main reasons I don't like the Ben Affleck Batman is because to make him seem like a legitimate part of that group, you have to up everything he does to ridiculous levels.
Yeah.
Like, you have to put him in a giant metal suit. He has to have a fucking tank of some description. Like, he has to have all this shit. Otherwise, he just can't be next to Superman and Wonder Woman. Because Superman and Wonder Woman in the real world, Batman would turn up and they'd be like, "Aw."
Yeah.
Like off you go.
You might as well just stay at home.
Just sit there.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? So, like, you have to make him, like, bigger. And like, one of the draws of Batman for me personally always was that he was like a bloke.
Yeah.
Like, that just had a fuck ton of money.
Yeah. Just
that
a guy
just made gadgets and stuff. Like, but he also had to rely on his brain, and he was like always like a wildly intelligent man. So, and that's, yeah, this very much could continue as a franchise, but yeah, just don't drag the rest of it in there.
Yeah, please, God, don't. Like, yeah. The only thing I was going to say earlier when we talked about, like, the look of it and everything, and people are banging on about the car chase. There's a car chase sequence all bang in the middle, and that some people are saying, like, it's the best car chase scene ever put to film. Like, it might be if we could see it. There's just,
I mean, I really enjoyed it. It's
quite
an intense scene,
but there is
there are points.
It was just a couple of shots with a bit of a wider scope, so we could maybe see the cars going through Gotham. Instead, it's literally just like a highway, and it's all very, almost claustrophobic. But I mean, that's probably what they were going for.
Yeah.
But
Matt Reeves said that the main sort of inspiration for that whole scene is Christine, the Stephen King car, the fucking car from hell, on fire, relentless, chasing Penguin down. But yeah, I really like it. But you are right. Like, there are points in that way. Like, what's happening?
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, like, overall, it's definitely not a bad film. Like, even though the things,
I really like it. I think it's a great film.
Oh yeah, even like the points I've made. That's just then they didn't ruin the film for me. I wasn't sat there going, "Oh, boo!" Oh, what? Commissioner Gordon's black. What? Yeah, no, none of that. It didn't ruin it for me at all. There was just a couple of issues that I didn't quite love. But yeah, it is a good film, and I highly recommend it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely see it if you haven't already.
Yeah.
I don't know why I had to add that bit in. If you've seen it already, I mean, see it twice. I don't give a fuck. Do what you want.
Well, I do think
your dad.
I do feel like I need to see it again.
I definitely do want to see it again.
Because I might rewatch it and feel totally different about it. But even as soon as it finished, when I saw it in the cinema, I was like, I need to see that again.
Yeah. I'd like to see it in the cinema again, to be honest. I've already said to a couple of friends of mine, like, when you go, I'm quite happy to see it again.
Okay, that was our review of The Batman. All 3 hours of it.
Yes.
Why are they so long these days? Fucking films.
I don't know. It's like it's become industry standard now, isn't it? It used to be an hour and a half.
Yeah, but when like The Batman 2 is going to come out and be like 3.5 hours. Yeah. And then we like,
the uncut version.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Thank you for listening, watching. Did we say like and subscribe?
I don't know, but
do it.
Say it again.
Please.
Yeah, like, subscribe, share, write us letters.
On parchment.
Yeah. Wave at us in the street. Don't do that.
Bye.
See ya.